Hey everyone, Lesley Myrick here, interior designer and business coach with Nancy Quinn. Today we have Johnny Lopez from Horizons Shades, and I'm so excited to learn more about this product because I am scared of window automations and motorizations because it seems very complicated. But truly, automated blinds can be a great way to make money and really set yourself apart as a designer. So welcome, Johnny. What do we need to know about automated blinds and how designers can use them?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a hot topic, Leslie. So over here at Horizons, we've been listening to feedback when it comes to all these different brands of motors and whatnot. And one of the things I kind of wanted to share today is to, show you that it's not very daunting to enter that field. It's an up and coming market. Everything's moving so fast. So we want to keep up with everything going on. So one of the new motors we have here, as we call the Rollies magnetic wand. Got this guy here.
Okay.
Very basic, very standard. It's just something that snaps on into place. You got your controls right here at the base. Very affordable. So definitely something for a homeowner that's, a little hesitant to enter that sort of market because they're probably more accustomed to like chains and clutches and all that stuff.
So that wand just clicks in with a magnet and that's how you control the shade.
Basically, yeah. So you got your little button right here. Really cool feature too is with a lot of cell phones you're probably already owning, they use a Type-C port. So you always have a charger readily available.
That doesn't sound so bad. I could do that. Is that something that can be like retroactively installed on blinds, or is this a new product that you'd have to say, hey, client, I really think that this kind of automated shade is a good choice for you?
Well, if it's a Horizon shades, it's definitely something we could possibly send just the motor and the wand for. But if not, we can always bring it back and have our professionals here in the workroom retrofit it to make it compatible. So you still have your beautiful shades.
Very cool. Okay, so basically there are some entry-level motorization products that we don't have to be scared of. But how do these make designers money? And I say that because I know that there's kind of an idea out there of like, motorization is expensive. Therefore, how can I make money selling motorized products if they're already so expensive to begin with? So I'd love for you to speak to that a little bit because I think it will be a lot more appealing to designers if they know this is not only great for their clients, but also a really smart avenue for revenue for them.
Yeah, so with that motor being the entry level one and more affordable, that kind of opens that door for like more future proof products as far as like home automation goes. So a lot of dealers that we currently have are probably familiar with our Somfy motors. So they have the diverse lineup, a lot of wireless integration. With the new models that we call the Zigbee line, simply put, installation, it's very straightforward. All you need is your smartphone, scan this QR code, and you've got a step-by-step guide on how to program your shades and integrate it to home Wi-Fi.
You're making it easy for designers to figure this stuff out. Because I will say, like, I will pick fabrics and pleat styles and roller shade materials all day, but the technical stuff is where I definitely get hung up.
Yeah, and that's always a struggle for installers, especially, we guide them and help them out and everything, but there's a lot of times where you're kind of pressed for time and time is money in the field. So with that, something made it very streamlined that anybody, regardless if they have like an Android like me or an Apple product, you always have the app available and you can seamlessly just install your shades without much fuss.
That is cool. So you're making it easy, which is good. And you mentioned future proofing. So like if clients already have an existing, I think you mentioned the word hub. There's some sort of hub needed for all these products. If clients have the hub, it becomes more affordable to add shades on later, right? You don't have to completely reinvent the wheel and start over.
Exactly. So once you have a Somfy product, regardless of the more reliable RTS or the newer Zigbee line, like I just showed you, as long as you have that hub, you can always add shades, remove shades, and you don't have to swap out the hub. It's always connected to your home Wi-Fi, so you can always integrate stuff. Another cool thing too is with all these third-party apps like Alexa and Samsung SmartThings, that allows you to integrate those features that you're probably already using, like music control, but to control your shade with your voice. So a lot of cool tech stuff.
So you can be like lying in bed, reading, it's getting dark, and you're like, Alexa, close my shades. And she'll just do it.
Yeah, basically. And they're always updating it too. So you don't have to worry about constantly being up to date on firmware or whatnot. It's just all in the background. You don't have to worry about it or trouble the homeowner.
Awesome. Well, that seems like an easy sell to a client. Tell me where things maybe land from the profit perspective, meaning, I assume there are retail pricings for these products. They are products. And then how does it work for designers through Horizons? I mean, is there standard trade pricing? Like, what does that look like so that designers know, hey, this motorized shade might cost X, but I'm able to purchase it for Y and earn that as a difference, earn that as a margin on the product?
Well, once you have an account with Horizons, you're basically part of the Horizons family. So you're always going to get a competitive rate in that regard. We're always running promotions as well. So you can always be sure that you're getting one of quality products and a very good deal. So you can always expect a good profit running your business with us.
I think that matters a whole lot. There's a lot of places where it's tough to make any money. And sometimes with all the time and energy spent, designers can actually lose money with their hourly rate if there isn't enough margin on the product. So that is good to know because we've heard good things about Horizons. I know, and it isn't just motorization. I know that automated blinds are specifically what we wanted to touch on today and just introduce designers to that idea. But I mean, my understanding is you guys have a lot of stuff available for designers, motorized and otherwise.
Correct. Yeah, we have our proprietary cordless one shades that everybody loves. We're the only place that really has something with that, so it is patented. So it's a really cool thing. And then the motorization, we try to offer many different brands to kind of facilitate openness. We don't want to just close the doors for some products and have ones for others. So aside from the magnetic one and the Somfy motors, we also have recently released the Lutron Savoya. So that's the bigger brands that people like in terms of reliability and quality.
Yeah, people know the name Lutron. That's pretty common.
Yep. So right now we're doing the Savoya. So for people that are trying to do more like a low voltage hardwiring sort of setup, that's an offer we have. And then Somfy does also have Lutron, low voltage motor. So that's always an option as well.
Awesome. So if a designer is watching this going, yeah, I need this. My clients want to just sit in bed and talk to Alexa and have it do things for them. How do they get started with ordering motorized blinds? Because that's something that, again, I would feel intimidated not knowing all the tech and specs and how do you make this happen for us? Please help me.
Yeah, so it all starts with calling or emailing us, and our awesome staff here will kind of guide you for like the different models and what makes more sense for per room basis. So Somfy has what's called an ultra 30 motor. Simply put, it's a really quiet motor. We'll kind of guide you as to this would make more sense for a crib room or a study room sort of thing. And kind of work there to kind of tailor it for your customer because everybody's different. Everyone has a unique, request. So we want to make sure we have everything available from the offset.
Awesome. So you have a team to help is the short answer there, which is great.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny, thank you. I appreciate that very entry-level insight into automated blinds, high level, how they work, how easy they can be. Any last things you want designers to know about getting started with automation and automated blinds? Because like I said, I know a lot of us are kind of hesitant to dip our toes in because it seems like an intimidating prospect.
Yeah, it was intimidating at first. I mean, with motorization, back a few years ago, it was still a very much new waters approach for a lot of businesses. So with technology, moving forward with like, AI and all that crazy stuff with your shades, it doesn't have to be any different. It's always going to be evolving and we want to make sure that you evolve along with us in that regard and, always have the best products available for your customers and have a good experience really.
Awesome. Johnny, thank you. I appreciate you being here and sharing your expertise and we will see you again on a future live stream.